So this is one of the projects that I have done in machine learning, and it's about MSc data science. So I just wanted to explain that project on the background side. What are the key terminologies that I have used in this project? Because this series of lectures will be consisting of multiple parts, because in this session I don't think so we can cover it all. Um, the the topic that you can see it there, it's about bank marketing campaign. So basically we want to do predictive modeling. We want to see that once we have a data and once we have everything in our hand, how we can use that specific data to predict our campaign so that we can generate our revenue. So what it exactly means, that how data can tell us that to whom we should approach and to whom we shouldn't approach. Because once we have a data, we would have definitely a lot of customers. We would have a lot of users. We would have a lot of people that would be listed down there. Um, as a decision maker or as a campaign manager, is it the right way to approach everyone, or how we can approach them, and at which scenario we can approach them? Because maybe we want to approach someone and the time for that customer or time for that user is not that much useful to converge it. Maybe there are holidays there, so any scenario can come there, and everyone can face these situations when we try to approach the people. So this was the background behind doing that project. And let me go to the further slide. So the methodologies that we have used, it is there that we have used a research approach. We have done data cleaning and pre-processing. We have also done exploratory data analysis. We have selected one model. On the basis of that, we will do evaluation. We have used other tools and techniques also in terms of graphical representation. And also, last but not least, we have used Python. Okay. And some of the libraries that we have used it Pandas, Scikit, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. So let me go back again and give an overview what this project is all about. In this project, a data bank of predictive modeling for banking marketing campaign has been used for analysis, which I have mentioned it in early session also, when the session was started. By analyzing this data, we can understand customer characteristics associated with successful campaign outcomes, and allowing us to optimize future marketing efforts and predict which customers are most likely to deposit with the bank. We have to understand key factor which will influence the campaign success. And on top of that, we have to improve targeting strategies to increase term deposit subscriptions. Because in this project, we have we want that our users are being increased for term deposits. I mean to say, like in some banks, we have a current account and then we have a saving account. But in saving account and term deposit, there is a slight difference there, because in saving account you are keeping the amount, and then after certain time you get a interest on top of that. But in term deposit, you are also keeping the amount and you are getting benefit out of that. But then what is the difference between saving account and term deposit? The term deposit and saving account, the slight difference is there. In term deposit, you cannot take out the money unless you inform the bank. But in saving account, it's up to you. If you have kept the amount there, you will get an interest on that. Otherwise, if you have removed the money from that specific tenure, you will not get reward on that. So what is the objective? The objective was to develop a predictive modeling through machine learning to identify potential clients for bank term deposits, and it will help the bank's marketing team to more effectively target individuals who are likely to subscribe to a term deposit. And this was the clear objective for our project. And here I want to mention it there that even if other students want this code, it's free of cost for me. I will share with them if anyone approaches to me, because it's the latest project on MSc data science, and I'm willing to even share these materials with other students also. So what is the background on that? The bank conducted marketing campaigns to promote its financial products as term deposits, which is very obvious. The deposit means that money is kept in a bank account for a fixed period, and the client will get a fixed amount of interest for a specific period. Given that he cannot withdraw the amount. To maximize the return on investment, term deposit customers need to be enrolled through a new marketing campaign. So what is the dataset background? The dataset background is marketing campaigns aim to meet customer needs and ensure their satisfaction. However, various factors determine whether a marketing campaign will be successful. And this project aims to use data to build a model that predicts which people the bank should target in its marketing campaign to encourage them to sign up for a term deposit. Because and what is the problem statement? Here we can see that there is a key problem that we have to face, and to identify it in a way so that we can have a specific target on that. So the key challenge is to identify which clients are more likely to subscribe to a term deposit based on historical data. Because historical data will tell us how the term deposit will work. So by analyzing the characteristics and behaviors of previous clients, the bank aims to build a model that predicts the likelihood of subscription. And this will allow the bank to focus its marketing efforts on the most promising leads, thereby increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of its campaigns. So I just wanted to give the overview of the dataset. The dataset was taken from Kaggle, and it's a banking marketing dataset. We have a lot of variables, but I have shortlisted some of the important variables that will help us and use it for our prediction. Age, job, marital status, education, default balance, and so on. And the target variable, which is the main variable, so it's the deposit one. The dataset contains almost more than 11,000 entries, and it's a mix of categorical and numerical data, which allow us for analysis from demographic profiling to predictive modeling. The attributes I have just explained it there, like age of the client, job type, marital status, education, default, whether the client was credit in default or not. The same way housing, will the client had already have a housing loan or not, whether the client has a personal loan or not. The same way contact, and when the contact information was being engaged with the client, it was through cellular or telephone. And there are some other important terms which are P days, previous, and P outcomes. These are the most confuse. These are the more attributes that will create a lot of confusion on that, because P days are number of days that passed since the client was last contacted. But previous is the number of contacts performed before this campaign. And P outcome is the outcome of the previous marketing campaign, whether it was a failure or success. Because maybe in last marketing campaigns, the client was being engaged, and maybe he was the client or not. And the target variable will tell us whether it's our current customer or it can be our future customer, because whether maybe if the outcome was successful, so then it would be the one which will be the subscribed client. So what is the term deposit? A deposit with a fixed interest rate and maturity date. Benefits: high interest rates, fixed returns, relevant key product for bank marketing campaigns. Deposit account. So as I have already mentioned the difference between that. So the term deposit is a bank account where you deposit money for a fixed period. In return, you get a higher interest than a regular saving account. And the client money will be returned at the end of its fixed period. An account holder deposits money in the account, and the bank can use that money for other business, and in return for the right to use these funds for lending, they will pay the depositor compensation in the form of interest on the account balance. With most deposit accounts, the owner may withdraw their money at any time, and this makes it difficult for the bank to know ahead of time how much they may lend out on money at any event. To resolve this issue, bank offer term deposits. A customer will deposit in his or her account and sign the official contract to withdraw their funds for a fixed period in return for higher rate of interest. This is just a snapshot of how the code was being loaded, and here we can clearly see it there that we have used PDF reader. Okay, so this is the data frame that we have used it to read the Excel sheet. Okay, which was in the Google Drive. And these are the libraries that we have loaded it there for the whole of the project. And we can see it there that these are our attributes that can tell us a lot of more information. But as we go along, I will inshallah explain more openly how these things work and how the Python give us this information. These are the first few rows which tell us the head of the dataset, how it looks like, and what is the age of the user. So the full overview at the beginning of our project. So as we are aware of that in machine learning, when we get a data set, the cleaning and pre-processing step is very important. So we can see it there that Alhamdulillah, we have a data set, but there are no missing values, because if you are missing values there, so it's another challenge that you have to complete before you are going for the machine learning processing. Because if the data is missing, definitely your results can be biased. And we want to identify whether there is duplicate rows or there or not. So we have saw it there that there is no duplicate rows or there, because it's a part of a pre-processing. First, we identify whether the missing values are there, then we identify whether the duplicate values are there or not. And this is the descriptive analysis that I have done it there. And in the descriptive analysis, we can see it there that each attribute values are being identified in terms of specific thing. And these descriptive analysis can give us a lot of more information, which I have to explain it in the later videos, because I want to explain this whole project from the very beginning till the end, because it took me like more than 5 months to complete it. And I have my own results, which I will definitely share with you people. But in the meanwhile, I'm just giving you an overview in this video how it works and how you can perform the same project in your master's or in bachelor to generate a research paper on that also. If we see age, So then we can see that descriptive analysis has given us a lot of more information, which is mean, standard deviation, minimum, quartile 25%, median, which is 50%, and 75%, which is the Q3 for us. And in this, one of the attribute, if you see it there, so the maximum age is 95, while the minimum is 18. And in the middle, while in the quartile, we can see it there that 75% of individuals are 49%. So, or younger. So it gives us a lot of information that a lot of our customers are belong to younger age and how the standard deviation will help us, because standard deviation is automatically connected with the mean. So the more we go into that one, we will explain it more betterly. But here we can see it there that ages vary by approximately 11.9 years around the mean. So we will see it there whether it's a high standard deviation or low standard deviation, but till now these figures we can see it there. So what is the summary? The age of customers appears to be right skewed, because with most customers falling in the 30 to 60 age range. So it's inclined towards right. So that's why we call it right skewed. It's another terminology which we are always using in machine learning, left skewed or right skewed. So this is what we can understand it there. And if we see the graphical representation here, so clearly we can see it there that it's rightly skewed, because the inclined towards that portion is very high as compared to the other data. If we see other data, so if we see other data, that is very low as compared to the other data. And in the same way, we have done some visualization for age distribution. So the box plot is also giving the same settings the way we have done it, because in outliers are there. These are our outliers. While this is the box plot which is representing our quartile, and this is the this is representing our mean, and this is how the age distribution is working there. Key observations are there that age and balance have a slight positive correlation, because if the age is going there, in this data set, balance is going higher. So it means that if somebody had a higher age, so definitely he will be in a good position. This data set is telling you. It doesn't mean that it will be in the real world, it will work like this, but this data set is telling us that we have a customer who have a higher age and they have a higher balance in their bank accounts also. While the P days and POS have a moderate positive correlation of a 0.51, indicating that the number of days since the client was last contacted moderately related to the number of contacts performed before this campaign. Means to say that the days since the client was last contacted, it's also positive that that the contact that happened before the campaign and the last contact, means to say that the client can be contacted again. So it means that on some clients we can have a try to converge it, because maybe the client was not ready at that time when we have approached him or her. P number of days pass, so the high number of days have passed, not recently being contacted. While so we need to create a customized marketing. What is the business statement for us? So we need to create a customized marketing strategies for these clients, as they have been contacted many times but not recently. So new incentive or different approaches might be needed to improve their response. If it's P days are higher, okay, and the number of days have passed, okay, not recently being contacted, while the number of times contacted is low, recently being contacted. So what is the business statement for us is that we should follow up with these clients as they have not been contacted recently, and a renewed engagement might lead to a conversation. And they are maybe interested on that. And the same goes for the low and high also. If it's low high, so we should consider personalized follow-ups. If it's low, then we must evaluate the initial response before deciding if the response was a positive. It might be worth to follow up or strengthen engagement. Otherwise not, because it's already, the customer has already denied to not approach him or her. So maybe he must wait for some time to engage it again. And clients with low P days and low previous have been contacted recently but not frequently. They might be a still good candidates for follow-up depending on their initial responses. And the same goes for other variables also. We can see in the balance, this is our descriptive analysis. And I will just go to the another slide and show you what is my outcome on that. The balance distribution is heavily right skewed. It's heavily right skewed, indicating the most customers have a low balances with a few customers having a very high balances. There are very little people who have low balances, but a lot of people have higher balances. So it's a right skew, because that will create a bias in our analysis also, but we have to see. In the same way, we have a descriptive analysis for the day also. So the average of contact day of the month in the data set is around 16. Like we have seen it there that people who are being contacted on 16th of any month with the standard deviation of 8.4 days, the 75% of all contacts were made between the 1st and 22nd of each month. The earliest was on the 1st and the latest on the. So it can also give us a clue, sorry, that on which date we can contact the customers, okay? And what was the duration of the call? Was it higher? 25% of contact lasted 138 seconds, while the 75% of contacts lasted for 496 seconds. So what is the average? What is the summary of that? The average contact during is 372 seconds, but very widespread around the average within the standard deviation of 346 seconds. So because these standard deviation, I have to relate with them in a later video, how these standard deviations can give us the complete overview on that. Half of the contacts are between 138 and 496 seconds, while the shortest was 2 seconds and a median of 255 seconds. I have a P days, okay, and in P days we can see there that we have a descriptive analysis, and these descriptive analysis can give us a lot of more information, because actually it's not that much easy the way what we are seeing on the screen. It required a lot of description and a lot of description and a lot of explanation is required so that you can understood it there. But in the current video, I just wanted to explain it there, that what exact values we have, so that in near future when we go through the practical examples through coding, you will understand what exactly I was saying. And the average of the day since the last contact is 51.33. It's variably, it's high, and most of the values show 20.75 days ago and were contacted either. The maximum period since the last contact was 854 days. Now, there is another terminology which is previous. So what we have understood, on average, the customers were contacted 0.83 times before the current campaign. Most 75% had one or no previous contacts. The number of previous contact is very widely variable, with the standard deviation of 2.29 ranging from 0 to a maximum of 58. And what is how the campaign variable will help us? In total, an average of 2.51 contacts per customer were made for the campaign, and many of the customer had 3 or few contacts. The range of number of contacts goes from a minimum value of 1 to a maximum value of 63, with a standard deviation of 2.72. And so what is the exact things that contact field can tell us? Unknown contact method, this has the lower success rate. Cellular contact, this method has the highest success rate, approximately 52 point. And telephone contact shows a good success rate of about 50.39. So it means that only the cellular contact was higher approachable way for us, which the data is telling us. Takeaway. It's worth noting that an unknown category might be skewing the overall results, and it would be beneficial to investigate why some contact methods are classified as unknown and if there is a way to reduce this category in future campaigns. So few marketing people can be, because marketing people doesn't know what the data set is telling us. Now you saw in last 15 minutes, we have gone through a lot of things, right? And there are a lot of things that require explanation, right? But when we want to explain it to the marketing team, we should have something lay terms that we cannot explain the terminology that we have saw it there. And this is one of the heat map that we can see it there, where we can identify the positive correlation or negative correlation. So which one has a strong one? That will tell us that which one would be beneficial. And this is one because the age has the correlation of age between one. It would be always one because it's the same one. So that's why it's red. But rest assured, we have some dark fields there. In the dark field, we will see there that we have a lot of things. But this one I will literally explain. Top correlation with deposit, focus on a longer conversation, optimize contacts methods, target customer without housing allowance, timing of contacts, positive correlations, and focus on a longer conversation. If you see in the previous slide, focus on longer conversation, a high positive correlation between contact duration and the deposit subscription implies that a longer. So because optimize contacts, the negative correlation in some contact type does imply that this what heat map tells us, and the timing of contacts, because the correlation, positive correlation to the number of days since the last contact happened. And it always gives us a lot of information the more we dig into it. And then the same way, minimizing over contacting, tailoring strategies based, segment on loan status, educated, focus on burden. But don't worry, I will explain in other videos because this is, I told you that it's a very depth final document, which I have explained just earlier there. But later on, I will take each and every slide there to explain you further on that. This is the deposit distribution by job, that who is depositing there, what is the meaning of managerial level. We have a who is managerial. This is the one who is already the customer, and these are the people who are not customers. So we have a lot of potential that if we convert these customers as our client, so definitely our business can grow. And the same way you see that blue collars are also not our customers, we can do something for them. We have students which is already on a higher part, but the self-employed people we can target also. So these are the data sets that can tell us that what we can do to have them enroll them. Value counts for job versus deposits. Okay. Who are the depositors and who is not the deposited, like who is the customer, who is not the customer. Deposit distribution by marital status, who are married, most of them are not being the part of our customer. That's very interesting. So we can see there why married people are not being the, why most of the people are not being converged as our customer. The same thing, deposit distribution by education. So this is the one that I have the code that I will really share with you people also, and in the later video, but I will explain it there that what exactly happened in this project. So what is the summary? Management needs to go for deposits more than the others do, whereas blue collar workers and people who have only primary education are not likely to subscribe that much. Moreover, the separation rate is higher for single and the tertiary education people in comparison to other marital status and education level respectively. So this is what we have learned it from that data set. What is the business statement that what you have learned? Target high conversation groups. More concentration should be given to management professionals, because you saw that there are many customers that are not being converted, retired persons and students, because they are portray a high tendency or probability to subscribe. we should have a product for blue collar workers, and we should target single and tertiary educated customers also. And this can be the business statement, because this is what we can give to our management, and then they can think on it, because this part is for only for management, who is managing director, who is the decision maker, who will take a decision. This is not for us, but this is what the lame terminology we can use it for our management to have. Because once you do the project, what you will do with that project, it's not just to display it there, but you should have a business statement on the end of the project. What can be gained from that? And potential in diverse segmentation. Diverse people are most likely equally divided between the subscribers and unsubscribed. This to demonstrate the possibility of compared targeted at addressing their needs and anxieties about financial matters. And this is one of the chart that I have drawn it there, multivariance, where we can see it there that this is a lot of information is given to us. If we saw the duration, who is churned, who is not churned, who are subscribed, who is not subscribed. So we have a lot of information that can be given to us, that what is the intensity and how visually it's being represented, how easily we can see it there, that who is on the higher stage and who is on the lower stage, because this is between the balance and the subscription and deposit. The same way, this is the code that we have done in Python. So what is the business insights? High potential segments, low conversation segments. Retired people, especially divorced married, have the highest propensity to subscribe, because if they are retired and they are divorced or they are married, definitely they can subscribe to form a prime target for deposit products. And low customer conversation segments, blue collar workers, specifically the married ones, turn out to be the bottom in terms of subscription. Marital status influence, that can also be one of the target that we can do it there. This was the data source, and this was my Google Colab link. But definitely, if you required an access, you can request me for that. And once you click on that link, I will get a request and I can give you an access on that. So till now, this is the end of the video. I hope that through feedback, I can improve it a lot there. I hope that I was not going that much fast, but till now, till next video, thank you so much.